Video games are fun. I say that as a broken record because, well, it is. And there's so many games coming out that even I cannot play all of them. And trust me, I play too many. Way too many. But then there are some that are, well, boring. Because it can be so repetitive, time consuming, something else, or worse, all of them. So, put my video in the first monitor, or the second, who am I to command you, am I right? Get energized and make sure you're not so sleepy, because today we're gonna be talking about 5 boring game design threads. So, let's start off with possibly the most notorious one. If you feel like I'm calling you out, first of all, take a shower and then come back to this video. YuGiOh is... Oh, who am I kidding? You know what YuGiOh is. But you might not know the rules around it. So, let me explain. Both of you start with 8,000 life points. If you lose them all, or you have no more cards to draw, you lose and your opponent wins. To make your opponent lose their 8,000 life points, you can attack their monster and hurt the difference to them, or direct attack aka full damage of your monster's 80k card. You can also only summon one monster per turn, aka normal summon. As you can probably guess, there's another way to summon monsters, aka special summon. See, unlike normal summon, special summon you can do infinitely as long as you reach the requirement. So this can be like a spell card like Monster Reborn, or you can use a trap card like Call of the Hunted, or even monster card that has effects to special summon other monsters. And again, 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 and I think you're starting to see the first problem. It's that the special summon can be infinite, and while it's true you only have 5+1 monster limit in each field, you can combine 2 or more monsters to bring out another monster. You can already see that this drags on so much. Here's a timestamp of my opponent times setting their field. This was just turn 1. I kid you not, it has gotten so ridiculous. I just watch TikTok or play another game or browse meme because it takes forever. Every single time. And no, I'm not cherry picking here. As of recording this video, I haven't recorded any gameplay footage for YuGiOh, and I already know that the first match is gonna prove my point. 3-5 just to make this video more interesting. Hopefully this doesn't age like milk. But you know what? Fine. It took them forever just to set their field and everything. So now it's my turn and I can play, right? Right? Remember when I said monsters can special summon other monsters? Yeah, some other monsters can do other things too. Like send cards to the graveyard, draw more cards, or negate your opponent's card effects. You heard me right. Effects. Plural. Not once per turn. As many times you want. So when it's your turn, you play gets negated over and over and over till you can't do anything and you just lost because you played second. Yes, going first has more advantage than going second, but we are not talking about 51 to 49. No, we are not even talking about 75 to 25. We are talking about 99 to 1. You're essentially determining if you're gonna win with a coin toss of who goes first. I say 1% because some deck is better going second, but come on, it might as well be 100 to 0. And that's the problem with this game. It takes forever to set up a field, and then you can just reject everything in your opponent's turn and win by destroying them in one turn. How is that fun?
No, seriously, where's the struggle, the hype, the conversation, the patience of activating said cards on a certain specific moment to shut them down and go for the offense? Where's all of that? One can argue that you can do that in the very first turn, everything, but 9 out of 10 times, it's just shutting down the very first card, shutting them down again, and making them end their turn, and you just go win. How is that fun?
I haven't even talked about other decks like milling decks or even one-turn kill decks. No, I'm not joking. Some deck you can just win without even giving your opponent's turn and Ass Blossom. I freaking hate that stupid card! But when even I have to use it because that is the only way to play Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays, it's saddening.
Of course, you can just play with your friends and have fun and yada yada yada, but that's because you're having your own creativity that you really can't do in meta decks, or you're not having meta decks at all, or having some sort of limitations and whatever. Oh, you both are masochists, which who am I to judge? I play Yu-Gi-Oh from time to time. But overall, Yu-Gi-Oh isn't a conversation between one player to another. It's a coin toss between who can scream the loudest first and win.
And unfortunately, that's not the only example.
I'm putting an asterisk on fighting games because fighting games are fun if you have someone.
I love fighting games. Seeing the possibility of fighting your foes in a constant rock, paper, scissors and knowing when to attack, defend and grab and winning is exhilarating. And when you lose, you stand up, fight again and know what you did wrong. And is there any way I can learn from that? At least that's what I do. I try to understand how to counter attack, say things, and try to use combos I learn in training mode in real matches as much as I can. And trust me, it's not easy to remember when everything is flying to you and you are flying everything to them. But then there's the frustration, the anger you build up when you're just being a punching bag over and over and over. And no matter how much you try to learn, you don't know if you are learning. The opposite can also be true. You are shutting down your opponent so hard it's not as challenging as one would like it to be. And that isn't to say they don't stay a while. Heck, almost always I am the punching bag and they still have rematches with me over and over despite maybe not learning anything. Maybe. But rarely I find people who are around the same level as me and both are trying something and improving over and over. And that's what I wanted to talk about. It's boring to play fighting games alone.
Now, my friends do play platform fighting games and I could join them, but one, Nintendo's online system is so garbage, I literally cannot connect to my friends playing Smash and it's on paid service. 2, Nepal's internet is also not the greatest. It's like when I play in South Asian region, for example, I have around 200 milliseconds ping, which isn't bad, but when I try to connect, say, with American friends, we're gonna have like around 500 pings, which is not the greatest. And 3, platform fightings for me is more like a party game than a competitive. I know there's some that is an exception, but none has ever resonated with me yet.
So I am in constant loop. Well, if my internet will even let me play fighting games with others, most of the times no, because other reasons can be 300, 500 milliseconds ping. And if people are interested to play fighting games that we both are,
And even then, there's one thing we need to consider. Skill level.
I am not the greatest, but I am decent in 2D fighting games. Will my friends be around my skill level, and are we gonna be playing around the same amount and gain same experience doing so? And then there's people that are... I play a couple of people that are hot-headed by losing, and instead of reflecting and learning, they just boil and complain. You know the one, how you always do this, to complaining how you play to the tonality of anger and rage that makes you uncomfortable to even be there. It has gotten so bad that I purposely lose some matches because if I don't, they're gonna make a scene and anger yourself up for trying. But come on, Maxim, you didn't have too many people doing so.
Too many times.
To some who bought the game today, to some I tried to get them into, to some who saw me bought the game and wanted to play together. And while it is true not all, heck, majority didn't try to go on a fit when they are losing constantly, some did. Many I prevented. I think this sums up with any competitive games now that I think about it, but this is really true for fighting games because the line is so thin. The between of sandbagging and sandbagger. And I know many of my friends giving up on fighting games because it just angers them. And you know what? More power to them. I mean, why play something that detriments you, right? But some still stays. And when playing with them, you have the choice of being name-called things I cannot say here in this video, or pull back and lose few rounds because you don't have the energy to be in those scenes. And that is frustratingly boring.
I will admit I'm using boring in a very loose term here, but this is a topic I wanted to talk for quite some time and, well, I took this opportunity to talk about it. But you know one subject I have talked about a lot that you guys are bored of? Oh yeah, and I'm not stopping this train. Subscribe to see more. What is wrong with me?
I have two problems with gacha games. One, they are too simple and honestly it's just a grind fest. And two, they are disguising with what I like to call over dopamine reward system. Let's go one by one. First, the simplicity. In any games, gacha is notorious with how simple gameplay can be. And what I mean is that the game has limited accents. Let's take Honkai Star Rail for example. In Honkai Star Rail combat mode, you have four accents. Normal attack, special action, ultimate attack in which you need to charge your meters, and retreat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, you have 3 other characters in your party and you can change from many of them in your reserve. But each of them has only 4 accents to consider. And it feels so limited. I get that making more moves every character is daunting, but at the same time, having more choices can make the game feel more versatile and, well, fun, at least for me. And no, I am not pointing this out because it's gacha and I hate it and yada yada yada. I have the same problem with Expedition 33, with only giving you 6 skills out of many you could have, but that is kind of more likely comparing apples to oranges, so I digress. What I am trying to say is the games became too repetitive because there's little to no strategy behind your fight. Not even healing in middle of combat, which, I'll be honest, really dumb because the struggle of keeping your party alive is now replaced with brute force or die. And that's only Honkai Star Rail. There's other games that has the same problem. Genshin Impact, Withering Waves, albeit with a different monsters abilities you can harvest, but only one at a time. Princess Connect with only one ability per character. Jet, heck freaking AFK Arena. And that's you going AFK. And it's still boring.
Out of many gacha games I have played, there's two that really interested me. Arknight, but because it's a tower defense with intense difficulty, the puzzle solving side of me is very excited about it. And Uramusume, but that's because while it is true that training certain archetype is pretty much the same, having those stories be different and the whole skill set can be earned by different support cards and everything, it really makes me interested. Also, Haruhara is the best daughter, don't at me. There's one more gacha which is maybe Snowbreak, but I personally not really into it. It's not my cup of tea, but it is the FPS game that I played, so there's that. But no matter how good these gacha games were, no matter how fun they were, they all share the same problem at the end. The annoying reward system.
Why is the reward system in gacha so annoyingly bad? To the point it makes me just not even try these games because I have to deal with that stupidity. To clarify what I'm talking about, every time you complete a certain task, you get rewarded with items, premium currency, and so on, which is fine, and I am glad I get them for doing tasks. My problem is, I have to claim them individually. Yes, I say yes because yes, they do have claim all option, but that is only for each tab or group. So you have to go to daily claim all, then weekly claim all, then story mode claim all, then existing claim all, then awarded for being a gamer claim all, and then you have to subscribe to Weirder Maxim claim all, and then on and on and on and on and on.
It takes 5 minutes just to claim all the rewards, and I despise it.
Despite what I said previously, I think I know why they do this. Dopamine. Each time you get rewarded, your brain is like, ooh, I got something. And it gets hit with dopamine. So, seeing you got reward, you're already hit with that dopamine because winning something is more potent than knowing what you want. But that's just a theory. A game theory!
Oh, Mad Pat, I miss you so much.
He's not dead, you know.
Shut up!
Point is, if what I said is how it should work, it just doesn't to me. It just feels, oh boy, 5 minutes of this stupidity, here we go. And I just do it because seeing red spot everywhere because I didn't claim anything looks annoying. So I am forced to claim everything, and in that 5 minutes, it becomes so boring that again, I don't want to touch some of the gachas because I know I have to deal with the same song and dance that I really don't want to.
I don't know where else to put this in the video, so I want to clarify something. I don't hate simplicity. In fact, I really like some of the games that had simplicity in it. Sanabe is literally singing from platform to platform. Tavern Talk is literally just visual novels, and the choices you have has little to no route changes. Heck, Grand Blue Fantasy Reeling. So the characters have multiple skills, but you can only have one character, 4 skills per mission. But for some reason, gacha games are so simple that it's repetitive. It's like the devs thinks that simple makes good game. And while sometimes it is true, it's not the answer. I don't know. It's clear that gacha games is not for me or for any of my demographic per se. And if you like gacha games and if you disagree with me, hey, that's fine. I just hope you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, let's talk about one more game design. And while I somewhat understand the gacha and why people like it, I really do not understand this one. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am more sick and tired of this than gacha games.
Open world sucks. I am sorry, but I have rarely seen open world done correctly. The only ones I can remember is Yakuza, haven't played Like a Dragon yet, Minecraft, and Spider-Man, though I haven't played that one either. Spider-Man works because swinging around and doing cool stunts feels unique and something I can see messing around for hours. Yakuza works because everywhere there's something to do, food to eat, fighting, side quests, and even mahjong.
You're not a true Yakuza player if you haven't played mahjong properly.
And Minecraft! Well, it's Minecraft, so yeah. But then you have something like Super Mario World. When the game was announced, I was actually hyped and thought about buying a Switch too. But then I saw the game price. And then all I saw was stupid terms and conditions being updated. And how greedy Nintendo was and becoming pigs.
Never meet your heroes, kids. And yes, I still don't have a Nintendo Switch 2.
But I can still talk about this because when they announced this game would be open world, I had a feeling this one is gonna flop. Not as a sale because most people still bought the most selling console.
That's a whole nother video, but for now, I'm just gonna say this. Some of you need to stop licking boots, man. But the game was gonna flop as a game design, and well, I was right. Because the problem with a lot of open world games, including this one, is that there's nothing to do but bragging rights.
Think about it. Most of the world is just empty space, and while there are mini games here and there, it's just one-off things where once you complete it, you get rewarded and you don't need to go to that place again. Or worse, you can't do that mode anymore. So the only reason I can see to even do this is just to say, hey, I did this and got all this, aka bragging rights.
That isn't to say like bragging rights is the detrimental of video games. No, of course not. Some people do it to get the completionist or get 100% achievement or even for the love of the game. And you know what? That's amazing. That's fair. I love that you love something to do, and who am I to judge that? If you like it, more power to you. But when bragging rights becomes the only reason and nothing like fun or something to explore or spicing up the game or whatever, when bragging rights is the only reason, I have to ask, where's the fun in that?
And that's the problem I have with many other games. Hogwarts Legacy, Destiny 2, Warframe, yes, I'm calling you out too, DE. Elden Ring, I actually do like that game, but open world is a hit or miss for me with that one. Heck, freaking Skyrim. Might be because I played VR, but I did not like going from point A to B of nothingness. But I don't absolutely hate open world. Burnout Paradise was fun. I'm having fun with No Man's Sky and Outer Wilds, and Will World is so beautiful and calming at times. Also, I have heard Donkey Kong Bonanza is pretty fun. That game is just not my cup of tea. So, I don't have an opinion on that matter. Anyway, my problem is, open world is not the answer to good gaming. I hate that empty view because they had nothing to implement there. Oh, making open world just to have side quests or bragging rights with over 1,000 stickers or cool cape you can get after hours of searching. Boring is the only word I can think of this. Of course, open world isn't the only criminal here. Roguelike, Souls-like, and farming has been notorious of outputting on a regular basis to the point even I am sick and tired of roguelikes. But I want to specifically say open world because it is most likely of the others to have boring game design. Farming might be the close second because nothing new elements is usually added, but at the moment, I can see why people might be hooked into that game style. I generally don't see the spark in open world besides, oh, this is beautiful, for 10 seconds.
Look, today I talked about 5 game designs, and even then, some people might find it fun while I did find it boring, or vice versa. Opinions are subjective, and I hope at the very least you understand where I'm coming from. But every time I play these games, every time I see these designs they make, every time I think to myself, why? Why would you make this boring?